Every day, each one of us goes about our lives. Yet, we tend to not look past anything outside of our own worlds. Throughout history, we as humans have faced countless challenges throughout the world. And luckily, we've always had a hero there who's willing to give up everything for what they believe in, whether it be the freedom of an entire nation or even the happiness of one person. The first of our heroes stretches outside the bounds of our home. Minerva Mirabal, or La Mariposa as they called her, was the first of the Mirabal sisters to join the underground revolution against Trujillo's regime. Born and raised in the Dominican Republic with her parents and 3 other sisters, Patria, Maria Teresa, and Didi, Minerva was practically just another ordinary girl with hopes of becoming a lawyer someday. That was when she learned about him. For years, the Dominican Republic has been ruled and oppressed by Rafael Leonidas Trujillo, the current dictator at that time. After learning about Trujillo's malicious acts and his seductive nature, Minerva realized the man whom she had once thought was a benevolent and praiseworthy leader wasn't who she thought he was. After joining an underground revolution, Minerva eventually influenced her 2 other sisters, Patria and Maria Teresa, into joining the revolution. Minerva actively opposed and fought against Trujillo, regardless of the fact that she was risking her own life. She showed and taught many others that, even in a time of darkness, there's still a ray of hope. To many, Brutus from the tragedy of Julius Caesar can be considered a hero. Known for being a highly respected and praiseworthy man, Brutus was the final piece that the group of conspirators, led by Cassius, needed. Although their mission was at first to rise against the ambitious Julius Caesar, who many feared would become a dictator, they ultimately assassinated him. With his leadership, Brutus led the conspirators, and on the Ides of March, they struck down Rome's ambitious adder, Caesar. Even in his death, Brutus was an honorable man, and without his leadership, who knows what Western society would be like today. Next, we have Mahatma Gandhi. For being a pioneer of resistance through mass, nonviolent civil disobedience, he became one of the major political and spiritual leaders of his time. His goal was to help poor farmers and laborers protest against oppressive taxation and discrimination against them. He struggled to alleviate poverty, liberate women, and put an end to caste discrimination, with the ultimate objective of being self-rule for India. He tried to stop the Hindu-Muslim conflict in Bengal, a policy which led to his own assassination in Delhi by Nathuram Godse, a Hindu fanatic. But even after his death, Gandhi's commitment to non-violence and his belief in simple living, such as making his own clothes, eating a vegetarian diet, and using fast for self-purification, as well as a means of protest, have been a beacon of hope for oppressed and marginalized people throughout the world. And lastly, we have Augustus Waters. But who was he? Well, Augustus Waters was a hero, but not the kind of hero that made the world stop and stare, but the kind of hero that made a few people whisper in disbelief. Augustus Waters was a 17-year-old boy diagnosed with osteosarcoma, a type of cancer that is curable. At a cancer support group, he meets 16-year-old Hazel Grace Lancaster, who is diagnosed with stage 4 thyroid cancer. It didn't take long for the sparks to fly, and for these two to fall in love. In the novel The Fault in Our Stars, all cancer patients get a wish. Hazel uses hers when she is first diagnosed to go to Disney World with her family. Augustus uses his wish to take Hazel to Amsterdam to meet her favorite author, but warns her, the world is not a wish-granting factory. Augustus finds out prior to the trip that his cancer has returned, and this time with vengeance. He hides his newfound problem from Hazel until her return from Amsterdam. Even when Augustus is in his worst, he fights for his cause to the death. His cause was not a revolution or an overpowering of an unjust leader. His cause was Hazel Grace Lancaster. Looking at the bigger picture, all these heroes were in fact martyrs. Although Minerva, Gandhi, Brutus, and Augustus may not have all done something monumental that would change the fate of the entire world, they started a chain reaction that would create a bigger, even more monumental change that would affect the future and those in the next generation.